the 228 holiday. It's a remembrance for the 228 massacre. Massacre. And it pretty much was a bloody massacre. Of history. Originally, Taiwan was inhabited by the Aboriginals. And it's not really clear where they came from. A lot of people think they came from China, which is very possible. They were afraid of water, didn't like boats, pretty much stayed inland. And they were headhunters. That's right. They collected heads. Cut them off. They had a knife. One knife. They gave it around the village. It was called the headhunting knife. Well, I mean, it wasn't that in Chinese, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, geez, G. You better watch what you say here. Then, after the Dutch were kicked out about 1635, and this is the part I gotta be careful about, most of the inhabitants of Taiwan right now are Han Chinese. They came from China, and they are Han Chinese. But they are now Taiwanese because they were born and raised here. Full-on Taiwanese. Taiwanese had their own language. Now in 1895, the Japanese took over, and the Japanese ruled for 50 years. 1895 to 1945. Yeah, as you may know, at the end of 1945, what happened? What happened? Oh, I know, me. Was it the end of World War II? And the Japanese had bombs dropped up them, and they were pretty much, screwed at the time. Sorry to say it, but, sorry. Sorry about your luck. Sorry. Oh man, I'm gonna get so many bad comments on this video. Yeah, so after World War II in 1945, the Japanese, they had to withdraw, and they did some great things here in Taiwan. They set up a government done by the Taiwanese, and they kind of were like the overseers of the Taiwanese government. They did some really good things, set up an infrastructure, set up roads, set up they were awesome. Awesome. Actually, at the time, most people spoke not only Taiwanese, which is the national dialect, but also Japanese. A lot of people did. So the Japanese had to leave, and control was handed over to the Chinese government as they were supposed to be the overseers. Now the Chinese government, well, they were having wars of their own. This guy, Chiang Kai-shek, who had a whole army, he got himself kicked the hell out of China. And he decided to come to Taiwan. So he came to Taiwan with his army, and at the time the Taiwanese were like, yeah, our liberators, yeah, Japan's out of here, we got the, liberators. Yeah, but it turns out, were they cool? Were they cool, Mr. Froggy? Oh gee, they were so not cool. They were corrupt, they were totally corrupt, they had a corrupt government, and within a few months, the price of rice was 100 times the price. Most Taiwanese people were starving. They were dying and stuff. Yeah, you could say they kind of did a, bad job. Yep, so Chiang Kai-shek's guys kind of did a bad job. The Taiwanese were starving. There weren't many jobs. The price of everything went sky high. It was pretty bad at the time. Now, which brings us forward, what we're talking about right now is the 228 holiday and why it exists. And that's what we're getting to. In 1947, on February 27th, there were these government inspectors, right? And they went down to Nanjing Road in Taipei, and there was a woman there, a 40-year-old widow, and she was selling cigarettes. Now, she hadn't paid the taxes on the cigarettes, of course, because she couldn't afford to. I mean, come on, she's 40 years old, she's selling cigarettes. You think she's got money to pay taxes? Probably not. So they confiscated all her cigarettes, along with all of her money. And when she tried to protest, they took a gun and went boof, and knocked her in the forehead with it. Now, the Taiwanese people at the time, didn't like this too much, and they decided they were gonna, kind of mob these guys. These guys started running like hell, turned around and started shooting into the crowd. They shot into the crowd, they killed somebody, and that really pissed people off. So February 28th comes along, as in 2/28, and people revolted. Yeah, they revolted big time. They killed everybody that was Chinese and was in command. They could get their bloody hands on. KMT was the party in power at the time. The KMT is a Chinese derivative that they sent over here to they're China, but they're Taiwanese governing China. But pretty much they were all corrupt bastards, and they screwed the people real good. So the people decided we're gonna kill you.
No, I'm not kidding. See this face? This looks like a kitten face? This is my serious face. So they killed him. They killed just about everybody they could find. By the end of February 28th, there was bodies laying all over the road. They burned down the police station in Taipei. There was people down in Pingdong, which is down in the south. They started the 27th Battalion, and they sequestered 30 machine guns, 300 firearms, a whole bunch of grenades, and they killed 200 Chinese soldiers. Now you got to remember, these soldiers and the Chinese in general were pretty much like just going in and killing whoever the hell they pleased and like putting on any rules they pleased. So the rebellion decided, hell with you, we're Taiwanese, and we're gonna kill you back. So they did. They killed lots of people. Which brings us to March 7th. March 7th is when the Chinese government sequestered a whole bunch of men because they were like, we're not going to put up with this stuff. And they sent a whole bunch of guys over here, and what did they do? Well, they basically went around for 3 days, raped and pillaged and killed everybody they could get their hands on. It kind of went like this. Hey, are you a doctor? Teacher? Oh, you're smart? They killed tons of people. It was pretty ridiculous. And that's where February 28th, 228 comes from, is we're remembering all the people that died in protest of poor government, in protest of being corrupted, in protest. And I mean, excuse me, but isn't that what's happening right now? Don't we have problems with our government? I mean, mind you, we're not grabbing machine guns and killing them, but maybe we bloody well should, huh? I'm gonna get so many comments. I'm so sorry. If anybody I've offended, I am sorry. But I'm just relaying the facts. If you got a problem with this, I looked on Wikipedia. This is where I got all my information from. If you have a problem with me, don't have a problem with me, write Wikipedia and say, hey Wikipedia, you gave Ji Taichung some poor information. But from what I can tell is that, the KMT came back. They killed bloody well everybody. I mean, they killed, the estimates are anywhere from 10,000 to 30,000 Taiwanese were killed. So then started what's called White Terror, which lasted for 40 years, right until 1987. That's when White Terror ended. So it wasn't until 1990 that the government actually admitted that something probably wasn't exactly right about all that stuff that went on. And they decided to make the 228 a holiday in remembrance for all the people that died. And this was the Green Party. The Green Party is kind of like the Taiwanese party who thinks that Taiwan should be Taiwan and not part of China, which I agree with, and I'm going to say that openly. And at some point, I'm going to be put against the wall and shot for this, because at some point somebody's going to come here and say, hey, Ji Taichung, yeah, you said some stuff on YouTube and you're going to die. But, so now we have the 228 holiday in remembrance for all the people that gave their lives in the name of freedom, in the name of equality, in the name of social justice. God bless freedom. As William Wallace said, freedom! Well, not exactly like that, but he kind of said it like that. Anyway. So I'm the 228 holiday. Am I glad it was a holiday? Yes. Do I wish that it wasn't because of this? Yes. Once again, I'm sorry if any of my information is false, and if you have other information that is more correct, feel free to comment and post it. There's several museums depicting the 228 holiday, the 228 Massacre as it's called. If you don't believe me, you can Google it. 228 Incident or 228 Massacre Taiwan. Go right ahead. Freedom!
When the firing squad comes, I'll hold your hand, but you better not pee your pants. I'm just saying. Thanks for watching, kids. And remember, anybody? Freedom!
So, thanks for watching. If you want to post a comment, please do. If you want to do my tagline or my final pick, you can send them to gtaichung@gmail.com.
Remember, I smile because especially in this instant, I really don't have any idea what's going on. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but Wikipedia, 100%? Thanks for watching. Keep smiling.
Hey G, interesting fact. You know what cannibals like to eat the most? At least they did back then. The soles of the feet and the scalp. It was the best part. They sold in the meat market right next to the pig parts. It's like, hey, you're gonna have pig, or you're gonna have human soles of feet and scalp. Yay!